Headed out to the Mabank event today. I have got my extension cords. I've got a new setup. It's actually pretty cool, so I will show you. I am super tired. I went out last night with Ashley. I poisoned myself a little. I do not drink. I barely had half a drink. We were out till 1 a.m. It is right now, I don't know, 7. I'll make it. I'll make it work. And Boot Crew will be there. And I'm excited to see them and Tim. That's gonna be cool. I made a little video to play. So I am actually, you know what? Let's get coffee first.
I've had equipment just shut off on its own, fully charged, fully functional, just shut off, and then we go and turn it back on and it works just fine, so there's no reason for it to turn off.
Now, another thing, getting back to the apps. For the longest time, I always thought they were absolute crap. Because anything that needs, and I still will stand by this, if it needs the internet, that it could be listening to what you're saying and with AI and generate things.
Yes.
I don't like that.
Yes.
But there are apps that we have found, you put on airplane mode, it has nothing to do with the internet. And I have a phone that doesn't even have internet, it doesn't have a card in it, I call it the burner phone. And that's what I have it on is, I have Necrophonics, Necrometer, and the fact that we go to a location, Mudrat, right? That's not going to be programmed into anything. And we were at a location with some of my former peeps, Phil and Renee, and we asked like, hey, who's here, wanting to talk to you? Spirit box comes across and says, Renee. And we're like, okay, well that's weird. Renee's not a normal name that you're going to get. Okay, well, who's here with Renee? Spirit box says Phil. And we're like, wow. Okay, so you said Renee and Phil. So who's the third person in the group? And it actually came across Mudrat. That's amazing, because that's not going to be on anything. So that was our first time going, okay, there might be legitimacy to this. Let's test it out somewhere else. We go to McAteer Villa in Atchison, Kansas. If you haven't been there, another great place. Stephanie's a hoot. And we're upstairs. One of the main spirits there is named Charles Donovan. When we're up there talking, we hear that, it's a little kid talking to us, playing games, and I'm sitting there like, are you over here? And it says, no. Are you over here? No. Are you over there? He. And then all of a sudden it stops. We get a female come across and go, he's coming. And we're like, okay, who's coming? And it says Charles Donovan. It actually said the whole name. We're like, there's no way that this, because it's not connected to anything, that this phone knows this name. It shouldn't have been in there. That was with the Necrophonics. So there is some of them, are some of them that are actually good. Now, like I said, I want to put my faith in all of them, but there are a few of them that I will stand by and say, yes, they are good. Plus, she likes that because you can hear clearer where, as she had mentioned, with the spirit boxes, it goes, but that's also why that portal is so good, because it cuts out a lot of that. And then there's also the, what's that one? The
Phasma box.
Phasma box.
What is the one that has?
Phasma box is another one that it told us to go outside. We go outside. Then all of a sudden started giving us names like John Smith, Jane Doe. And we're like, okay, what's this mean? And then it tells us to go over to the cemetery. And we're like, oh yeah, we're over by a church. There's a cemetery outside the church. We walk over to the cemetery, and right there on the tombstones are all the names that it just gave us. And we're like, okay, this Phasma box, yes. So that's...
Have you guys used the SLS?
The
thingy with
the camera, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I've used it. I'm not a huge fan of it because it picks up everything. This chair, because it's got a straight line, there's something sitting in there. This chair, because it's got a straight line, there's something sitting in there. Now, I'm not going to discard it completely because I have seen some of them where it's showing down a hall, all of a sudden a figure shows up, and then that figure just walks right up to the camera. Okay, so that one was very realistic. It's like, okay, maybe there's something here, but 90% of what I get, if I pass by this stick right here, it's like, there's a person here dancing. You know, and it's like, nah, man, that's... That being said, we're going to go into the paranormal community. There are a lot of us out there. Dude, we're all in this together. Be kind to each other. There's no reason for us to be nasty, talk trash to each other. None of us are professional. I don't think any of us can be a professional. There are people that have more experience than others, but that just means push that experience on to other people. You know, this world is too small to be nasty and ugly to other people and talk trash.
Yes.
You know, differently.
Some people are sensitive, some people aren't. It's this community has a vast amount of differences. And that's amazing. Yes, absolutely.
So, but yeah, when you get out there and you meet new people, welcome them in. You're like, hey, she's new to the area. Love her. She's awesome. She's out there. We see her face everywhere. Just go say hi.
Well, I'm going to leave it off there. If you have any questions, further questions, we'll be sitting at that table over there that has some books and some green equipment over there. So come chat with us if you have any more questions. We'd love to talk to you about our experiences and everything else. So
music, Mudrat.
Music.
Look it up.
Thank you guys so much.
So this was the jail here. I'll let Sonia, and it's not just me. Sonia and I have been together and working on the Texas Jailhouse for over a decade now. Yeah. It's kind of incredible. And Sonia actually was the one that helped get me into all of this. And skeptics, you know, probably at the core of me in a lot of ways, so I'd like to see what technology can do, but she senses things in a way that I can't, and so many other people, so I love and respect that. I want to be encouraged.
Well, it really all started, we lived in a historic home in Palestine, and Palestine, if you don't know, is the third oldest town in Texas, and we had the most historic homes. Galveston is the only one in Texas that beats us with the number of historic homes in Palestine. And a lot of historic buildings, even though a lot of them had been torn down. And then the jail came up, and he's like, would not let it go. He was so passionate about us getting this building, and you know, the county was putting it up for auction, and we actually got it, but we knew we had to live there in order to make, you know, it work for us and have a business there as well. And so we moved in this, and then the ghost teams just started, you know, slowly coming to us. It was really incredible. We didn't have to put a lot out there for people to start coming in. And when this was torn down, they built our building, which was in 1931. And I've referenced like the blueprints and, you know, building. And so this would have been where our elevator shaft is in our building.
So beautiful ornate structures, right? Sam Houston used to come up on the square not far from the jail. It was just kind of this little mecca because of the Trinity River. The Trinity River was a big thing of commerce, and then the railroads came in, and it was a big lumber area community. So that's where Palestine was booming, I would say thriving in ways that we haven't bounced back on. So we're all kind of familiar with small towns. How there's these periods of history, they thrive, things happen, they kind of die down, we don't know what to do with these structures. us paranormal people come around and say, we know what to do. No, like, we can do something with it. It's just this wonderful, wonderful, rich history that kind of lent itself to the paranormal. So in acquiring the jail, what we didn't want to do, and I'll give you just a little bit of the floor plan so you can see what you wouldn't be seeing. What we didn't want to do is buy a piece of property, and I think it was said earlier, and just claim, oh, it's haunted, and just try to make money off of people because it was haunted. One, I didn't know what the heck I was doing. I wouldn't try to proclaim to know what to do with those devices 10 years ago or how any of it worked, and now I'm obsessed with devices and how to use technology and geek out. And we set up multiple TVs in this area to kind of be a command center. So we have that area, and then we have a whole nother security camera system, because early on I noticed it's hard to get cameras in these spots, and you only have so much time in the night.
We've also had, of course, our video, if we can get the playback. That was, it was interacting with us, and we couldn't see it in the moment because of the night vision cameras, but it was definitely there. Of course, the dog is there.
That's Val.
That's Val.
He's a sweet little guy. Okay, so you can kind of see it now. So here's an interesting bit of energy or whatever else. It definitely wasn't a bug. It definitely wasn't dust. It was really present to just this area. When I came up, it started moving back and forth to the batteries with the K2. We noticed it grow over time.
I started noticing, oh, there's one on the floor that correlates with the movement, and then you start seeing almost a line up here just going straight down through there.
I noticed it growing. See how it's like, it's hard to see. I can see it, but it looks like a little circle. It's actually hollow in the middle, has a little like energy field around it. And I go up there with the duster to the camera, and all of a sudden it takes off, right? It leaves. I think it's around. We would love for you to come to the Texas Jailhouse Facebook page. txjailhouse.com is the website. But we want to bring you to the location, but if you can't come to the location, we want to bring paranormal investigation to wherever you are. So we look forward to doing more with you in the future. Thank you.
Awesome.